What is happening at Tottenham Hotspur? Guys and girls, I have no idea what is happening at Tottenham Hotspur. We have just got the here we go for Morgan Gibbs White, who 3 hours ago, none of us knew we were in for. What on earth is happening? There must be investment going in. I don't care, by the way, what's happening. I don't care. Levy, investment, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Tottenham Hotspur have plucked Morgan Gibbs White from seemingly nowhere. We've gone in, we've triggered his release clause of £60 million, and he is a Tottenham Hotspur player pending a medical tomorrow. This is absolutely insane behavior from Tottenham Hotspur. What is going on? Where to begin? Soul Sniper Gaming, I will kick you out, mate. I'm happy. What do you mean, just be happy? I am delirious. I don't want mugs like you in my chat being an idiot. So either see yourself out or join in the fun, mate. This is crazy. I don't know what's happened, but Spurs are moving different. That is now Morgan Gibbs White and Kudus in the space of 24 hours. What is happening? Daniel Levy, take a bow. Whether it's Levy, Lang, Frank, all of them together, take a bow. Now, we'll talk a little bit as the show goes on about where this investment is coming from. But let's be brutally honest. As a football fan, all I care about is my club are signing players that I want them to sign. I have nothing bad to say. So where do we start with this? I don't know where to begin. So it all started a few hours ago. Literally, God, would it have been 3:30, 3:15? When, I mean, look, if I look at my phone, I mean, I've been sent so much stuff on this already. If I look at my phone, the first thing that I was sent was this. It was an exclusive from David Ornstein. Let's have a look at it. This was David Ornstein's exclusive. Let's have a look, guys and girls. There we go. Hang on. Where we go. That was July the 9th, July 8th. Oh, no, hang on. Where are we? So David Ornstein said this. Here we go. I'm absolutely shocked. This just isn't Tottenham. This just isn't how we move. So David Ornstein said this 2 hours ago. He said, exclusive, Tottenham Hotspur are turning their attention to Nottingham Forest midfielder Morgan Gibbs White. The Tottenham head coach, Thomas Frank, is a long-term admirer of the 25-year-old, and Spurs will try to convince the England international to join if deal can be agreed with Nottingham Forest. Now, that was 2 hours ago. So 2 hours ago, we were told, we're going to see if we can convince him, right? 2 hours ago. We're now done. He has a medical tomorrow, and I'll show you what else happened. So further down from that, David Ornstein tweeted 21 minutes ago saying Morgan Gibbs White contract believed to include a 60 million release clause. Tottenham Hotspur working to sign the midfielder from Nottingham Forest. Tottenham boss Thomas Frank was keen on him, an England player, while at Brentford. So we saw all of that. While that was going on, we had a lot of the reports were coming out from Mike McGrath of the Telegraph, who was saying Spurs have got a medical tomorrow with Thomas Frank. Spurs have got a medical tomorrow with Morgan Gibbs White, and you're like, oh my, what? It's like, how on earth has that moved? And then, if that wasn't good enough, people, we got this. Breaking news. Morgan Gibbs White to Tottenham. Here we go. The words that everyone across the world of football wants to see. Here we go. And here we go indeed, because Tottenham Hotspur will have a medical tomorrow for Morgan Gibbs White. It says here, medical booked, set to take place in 24 hours, as per Mike McGrath of the Telegraph. It says follows the Kudus deal, massive moves for the Spurs project. Well, I don't like words like project, but I'll absolutely take it for this. This is utterly, utterly crazy, crazy times. I love Thomas Frank. At the moment, I'm loving the way the ball are moving. I'm loving Lang right now. Where has this been? Who are these people? I'm in shock, probably like the rest of you. We're sitting here 24 hours ago, 24 hours ago saying, what is going to happen at Tottenham Hotspur? What is going to happen at Tottenham Hotspur? We're not signing anyone. We're not doing anything. And then boom, it's done. And I'm just so, it's crazy. David Ornstein has literally just tweeted again. Let's have a look. David Ornstein has tweeted again, I believe. Let's have a look. Just utter madness. I'm in a bit of a state of disarray here. 2 minutes ago, there you go. Morgan Gibbs White scheduled to undergo medical on Friday ahead of proposed transfer from Nottingham Forest to Tottenham. 25-year-old England international, 60 million release clause. Let's all take a breath. This is crazy. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Where are you? I mean, I was going to go live at 9, but when you get the here we go, I mean, you kind of have to do your thing. So far, we've had 340 votes. 1% have said it's a poor signing. 3% said average. 20% said good, but 75% have said this is brilliant. Guys, girls, I'm in shock. I'm not used to this as a Spurs fan. I'm not used to this as a Spurs YouTuber. I genuinely don't know what to say. I genuinely don't know what to say. This is just crazy. We've now strengthened in the forward areas, another attacking midfielder, an attacking wide forward. This is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Let me try and calm down a little bit. Yeah, like, no way. This is so quick. Yep. Way. Dark Crow says, Sava, all thanks to Thomas. Listen, Thomas Frank must have had a say. All I've been told by anybody, all I've been told by anybody is Thomas Frank can't attract people. He's not a winner. Should have kept out. We're moving different. These players don't seem to be put off by Thomas Frank. If anything, I reckon they probably want to join because of Thomas Frank. This is mind-boggling, mind-blowing Tottenham Hotspur behaviour. Also, mind-boggling behaviour. 112 likes. There's 650 of you in here and growing. It's utterly, utterly crazy times. Let's have a look at some of your comments. And then we'll bring up the players' information. We'll have a look and we can all calm down just a tiny, weeny little bit. Forgive me for my giddiness. I'm just not used to this. I'm not used to it. There must be investment coming in, but I don't care. Big up to my man, Aaron J, who said, we are cooking. We are cooking indeed. Alex has said, what's happening? Am I dreaming? Somebody slapped me. I just don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Big up to, let's go some super chats. Mad, my man Moose coming in again. Very, very, very generous. Has said, we are cooking. Matters on the left. Morgan Gibbs White in the middle. Kudus on the right. Bang. Imagine that three behind Solanke or Wissa. Suddenly, how much better does our team look? Suddenly, with a proper coach and proper players, different we look. Moose, I'm with you, mate. I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm all over this. And I've got a feeling we're not finished, you know. I've got a feeling we're not finished. This is crazy. Spurs are dominating the transfer market the last 24 hours. And we have to say, Daniel Levy's doing what we needed him to do. Daniel Levy's doing what we asked him to do. Daniel Levy's acting like a proper chairman with ambition. This is utter craziness. 1 second. Here we go. Ranking News, Morgan Gibbs White. Right, guess, copy. 1 second. Let me put this in there. It's utter madness live now. If anyone wants to join, this is crazy. Honestly, guys, I don't know what to I don't know what to do with myself. Here we go. Paste. Madness. Absolute madness. Big up, Moose. Very generous of you indeed, my man. Thank you very much. Rodney Roberts has come back in again and said, well, come on. You Spurs, it's utterly crazy, and I'm here for the craziness. Rodney, I'm a happy Spurs fan. I'm all for it. Yep, I sent the link. The link in the group. There we go. Yeah, I'm here for it. Big up, Rodney. Thank you very much. Big up to Philippe as well, who said, has Levy hit his head, or what's going on? I also read somewhere that we got money from investors, so that's why we are going bananas. Do you know if true? Well, we're going to talk about this in a bit more detail as the show goes on. I would probably think that, yes, there is some investment coming, because this is not what Tottenham do. 115 million pounds on players in the space of 24 hours. That is not Tottenham Hotspur. Both players are going to be here for pre-season. This is utter madness. Big up to you, Philippe. Very generous indeed. You've all been very generous today. Facts Only has said, and that's it. Facts Only. I don't know what to say. I'm in shock. I've had to enlist people like Jose here. I'm in shock. We're going to get to it. This is not Tottenham as we live and breathe. This is an alternate reality. Big up to you, Facts Only. Big up to Craig Fenner, who said, has Levy had a bang to the head? I think some people might think that Daniel Levy's wallet has been stolen. Somebody's got his checkbook. Somebody's authorizing deals, because this is crazy stuff. Big up to you, Craig Fenner. Really appreciate you. And Chop Cheese, I said, that's what I'm talking about. Both great players. Well, let's find out. Big up, Chop Cheese. Thank you for that. Thank you to all of you. Smash the like button, people, before I bring in Jose. Smash the like button. We should have 400 likes. There's 750 of you in here. Jose, how are you, my man? Are you good?
I'm absolutely fantastic.
Amazing, isn't it?
In life, it's great, because life is always great. Tottenham are always the ones that bring me life down a little bit, but to hear the news yesterday about Kudos, because Kudos is someone that I asked for 3 years ago. Remember when Sonny went to the World Cup and had to wear that mask?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So that was 2022 in Qatar, weren't it? So the summer before that, because that was a winter World Cup, started in November, December. Before that, so in the summer, I turned around and said that I thought Sonny had lost his game, and I said, look, if anyone offers us £70 million, I would go out and reinvest that money in Mohamed Kudus of Ajax and Manuel Ugarte at Sporting Lisbon at the time, because I felt they were players that we needed. Now, 3 years on, we now get Mohamed Kudus. So I was absolutely gassed and absolutely on top of the world yesterday when we got the Here We Go and Mohamed Kudus. I did a show today, because I did a show at 4 o'clock today on my channel about me going to the stadium and watching a concert last week, and how I've put money into the Tottenham coffers towards the transfers. I partly made Kudus happen, and all of a sudden I'm wondering,
you taking the credit?
Why haven't I got many? Yeah, look at it. This cost me, set me back a pretty penny at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So, at the end of the day, I'm talking and I'm thinking, so why haven't I got many people on my show at the moment? Because I normally get double digits, and it was really slow. I looked around, and all of a sudden, all I could see everywhere was Morgan Gibbs White to Tottenham, and everyone has gone live. And I'm like, shit, I've scheduled my show, and now Morgan Gibbs White's been announced as well. And I just turned around and I thought to myself, let me read this again. I'm not too sure whether I've read it correctly or not. Morgan Gibbs White and Kudos. I turned around on my channel and said, we've hired a new set of staff, but we haven't got enough people to do the medicals. We haven't got enough staff to do one medical, let alone 2 medicals in 2 days. We're going to need to invest in locums or contract the medical staff. We haven't got enough team to do 2 in 2 days. But listen, at the end of the day, I mean, I've heard what you said, Sava, because I've come off my show, listened to what you said before I messaged you, and I've been listening to what you've got to say. And yeah, I'm completely in shock, the same as what you are. That Kudos has won, and I know that you did a short yesterday on Kudos, but to have Morgan Gibbs White the following day as well, it's just this is what. So a lot of people are saying. I think Paul French is, or some people are saying it. Some people are saying that there's been investment into the club, that the 450 million has been injected into the club, 150 from Enoch and 300 from investment. And if that's the case,
apparently.
Yeah, apparently that's what they're saying. If that, because I'm just thinking to myself, where does all this money come from? But you're dropping 55 and 60. I know you can monetize it, but that's a lot of wedge for two players. And I'm just like, something must have happened. But do you know what? For me, it's long may it continue. I said last year that I felt that our squad wasn't as strong as what it should be. Some people said it was badly coached. I just thought that our squad wasn't strong enough. Forget about it. I wasn't even looking at the coaching, and I said that I felt that going into the Champions League, we needed even more players. Well, for me, Kudos and Morgan Gibbs White, they both are needle movers for me. They are both players that affect your first team and then your starters, because they affect their starting lineup. Your starters then drop down to becoming subs, so your squad is getting stronger. But to me, there's players that have got to leave as well, because with Gibbs White coming in as well, people have got to go. Someone's got to go. With Kudos coming in, someone's got to go. So we're going to have to make sales as well. We're going to have to get rid of players. We're going to have to be cutthroat. You're not good enough. Thank you for your service. You need to leave. We've bought the new kids on the block are now coming into our team. And what's good as well is we did the kids last year. I know we brought the Japanese centre half in. Who I think from the highlight reel and from what I've read about him and what I've seen in his trajectory's been really, really good. We've got Vuskovic there, so we've got the youngsters in there. We need to go out and buy, and we said this all the last season, we need to go out and get people that affect the first team straight away. These two signings are intent.
I agree. Listen, I agree. I'm absolutely staggered how there are still people not happy with it. I'm staggered, Jose, that listen, you've watched me for years, not religiously, but you've seen me on shows for years. I can be hypercritical when I need to be. But right now, every Spurs fan surely has got to be happy about we've just signed two players that for me walk into this first 11, automatically give us a little bit of verve, a little bit of edge, make us better. And I'm seeing negativity. I'm seeing people saying, oh, this is what normal clubs do. Well, enjoy it. Enjoy it. I don't see the City and Liverpool fans upset when they sign players. Enjoy it. Embrace it. I'm on cloud nine. This is not normal.
Who's being negative? Where's the negativity? I've not seen no negativity yet. So,
mate,
am I yet to see it?
You'll see it. There's people in there. There's people in there.
Okay.
So look, I mean, Spurs Raw at the moment, dude, listen, he's just signed two 60 million pound footballers in the space of 24 hours. Like, can we give him the credit and praise that rather than straight away go into, well, unless he does one more. The next player doesn't have to be 60 million. The next player could be Wisser at Brentford for 40 million. Doesn't have the quality of the player doesn't have to be dependent on the fact that it starts with a 6, does it, Jose? Like, that's craziness. Oh, you there? I think we might have lost Jose a little bit there. I think we've lost Jose there. I think we've lost him. I'll kick him out and he can come back in a minute. Guys and girls, this is a great day. This is a great day. Yeah? This is a great day. Come on, people. Let's get that. Show me the positive messages, people. I'm going to find some positive messages. Lots of people now talking about Openda. I haven't seen anything about that, but I would love Openda to join as well. Guys and girls, I have put the link to subscribe in the chat. Please do subscribe. This is a wonderful day. If you can't subscribe today, then when are you going to subscribe? And please do smash the like button. We've got 875 people in, not even 300 likes. Smash that button. I'll bring Jose in back there, but let me just quickly do some super chats. Sorry, you completely froze. Big up Boris, who has said, sorry, lads, stole Enoch's checkbook. Time for Stiller. Boris, if you've got his checkbook, keep going, mate. Keep going. Keep making some signings. I am here for this. I am a happy Spurs fan. Big up to you, Boris. Big up to Emma Morton, who has sent in a super sticker. Very generous as always, Emma. You're always sticking in super stickers. So thank you very much. Really appreciate you, Emma. My man, Destiny. Sorry, the Sanctuary of Seven, not Destiny. Sanctuary of Seven said Morgan Gibbs, Lily White. Morgan Gibbs, Lily White, coys. Yes, listen, it's Morgan Gibbs White, all right. He's going to be a Spurs player. I'm happy with it. Our squad is getting better. Big up to you, Sanctuary of Seven. Big up to, hang on. Big up to Forest Fan TV. Said they're effing fuming. Crypto, sorry. Wolfie's telling me that it's good money though, and that he's not as good as we think. I'm not sure. Some are fuming, some are not. I'm guessing some are hurting inside a little bit. But that's now Alanga and Gibbs White in the space of 3 days. That's a big hit for any club to take. Big up to you, Crypto. Thank you very much for the super chat, and I'm sure you'll spend the money wisely. Look at my man, Blaine Dev. Big up to you, gifting 5 football heritage TV memberships, and they went to Mike Zappa, Mr. Wignall, Archie CO4, Joshua, and Boxing Hotspur 57. Blaine, I mean this. You are a legend. You are far too generous. So thank you very much. And if that wasn't generous enough, Blaine has come in with a £10 super chat as well. Big up to you. And said, breaking news. Charrington was seen locking Levy in his office and swallowing the key. I'm stunned. It's organic. Big up, Sava. And great to see you back, Jose. Charrington joined. Vinay's joined. Things seem to be different. We will talk about that in a minute. Big up to you, Blaine. You are very generous, my man. Really appreciate everything you do. Thank you very much. And the last one for the moment, at least, is Paul French, who said £400 million incoming. Freeze up, opposite to meltdown. Opposite to Football Heritage TV equals every West Ham United FC podcast. Next is Wissa, then Vlahovic on a free. I don't think we're just going to keep signing like loads and loads, but we'll see. We'll see. Big up, Paul. Really appreciate it. Yeah. And the West Ham podcasts are in utter meltdown, and we'll leave them to it. We should be bloody happy. And Neil Lambert coming with a super sticker to start the super sticker train. Much love to you, Neil. Really appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that. And when I called you posh earlier, you know I was only joking. Big up to you, my man. Jose, let's talk about lots of people are talking about this investment now. There's loads and loads of reports coming out that apparently ENIC have put in some money and an American company have invested. Now, I'm not the world's best with financial markets, but either way, it's very much needed at Tottenham, isn't it, for us to have this sort of investment?
Yeah, money's needed because you can't make and you can't sign players unless you spend money. So the fact that money's been put into the club, if that's the case,
Lubo. Lubo, need you to go out and come back in. Your connection's terrible.
He's frozen.
Yeah, I've kicked him out. He can come back in.
Yeah.
Sorry, as you were.
Bearing in mind that to buy players, you need money. And, you know, let's face facts. I mean, it's not that we haven't spent money, but we haven't spent money wisely. After the fact, we spend money on players and we think, yeah, they'll be good. Or some people say, no, they won't be good. And when it plays out more often, well, quite often we get it wrong in the money that we spend. But you need money to keep up with all the rest of these teams, and that to keep up with the Joneses, you need money. And you know, to have money put into the club is music to our ears. In all honesty, does anyone really care where the money's come from? You just want to see the money's come in, and then we're going out and we're spending it and we're buying the players that we need to improve our squad, that we need to be competitive, not even in the Champions League, but to be competitive in the Premier League next year, the next season. We need to have a better squad just to be competitive, because other people are improving, so we can't be left behind. And there was a fair few of you YouTubers that were doing shows up to 2 weeks ago saying, why haven't we bought nothing? Why haven't we done nothing? I could hear this from everyone. I kept my powder dry because I thought to myself, we're not going to do anything till July. Nothing's going to happen pre-June. It'll all start happening in July. But I never, ever imagined that it would be. I thought maybe, given Tottenham's track record, they might spend 50 to 60 million on one player. You'll get one player for that, and then the rest of them will be bargain basement players. In 2 days, we've got 2 top signings, and that, is a difference. The money has to have come from somewhere, because we don't. I think the last time we spent big on 2 players was the year that we bought in Lo Celso and
Lubo. I think it's the ear pod. Lubo, we've got a horrible screeching noise. I think it's the earbud.
Lubo, we've got a horrible screeching noise. I think it's the earbud.
Oof. Oh no, Lubo, it's horrible.
Lubo.
I need him to come back. Lubo, if you're watching, I need you to come back on. I think it might be the earpod. It might be. Sorry, Jose.
Unless he's watching us, unless he's watching the show and coming on at the same time, because then
yes,
could get like that. Because I could hear you talking when you were telling him, and then I could hear a repeat again. So it could be that it's bouncing off who's watching. Yeah. So to me, I mean, I'll ask the chat and I'll ask you, Saba. The money comes into the club. Do you really care where it's come from? And that's what I'll say to the chat. The only thing that's music to our ears is that we're going out and buying players. The last time we spent big on 2 players was when we bought Lo Celso and then Dembele in. And that was an absolute failure in the long run. That ended up being a failure. However, with these 2 players, they're proven Premiership players. They've played in the Premiership and they're proven players. So for me, like I said, I don't care where the money's come from. I don't know whether it has come from Saudi, American investment. I don't know whether ENIC have actually dipped and put their hands in their pockets. But wherever the money's come from, I don't care. It's music to my ears. And I just want us to go and spend it and buy players to make us competitive. And like I said, the other teams around, or other teams, I won't even say around us, other teams in the Premiership have improved, whether last season or this season or both seasons. There are teams that have improved, and we need to improve as well. And that can only be by bringing players that affect your first team and make your first team better. Long may it continue. The thing that I'm wary of is, like yourself, or like any normal person and people in the chat, we can all read articles on Twitter and articles that are written, and these articles that are written.
Lubo, are you watching the show on something?
Lubo, you watch the show on something?
It's not working, is it?
It's not working, is it?
Lubo, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you put your thumb up?
The noise has gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, no. I muted him. Yeah, no, he can't.
Oh, sorry.
He can't hear me.
So sorry. As I was saying, so therefore, them 2 players were not. These 2 players moved the needle. I'm just hoping that. To me, I sound like I'm getting greedy, Sava. We've had 2 players. We've had 2 players. No, greedy in the sense that we've had 2 players come in announced within 24 hours of each other, and I'm just thinking to myself, my head's rolling, saying, who else can we get in? I've got names in my head saying, can we get this player in? Can we get that player in? Without thinking to myself, hold on, Jose, they've just spent 115 mil on 2 players in 24 hours. But I'm being greedy. I want more. And I only want more because I want our team to improve, so we fight on all fronts next year.
Well, just so you know, just seen. Let me make sure I get this right. Just seen that immediately. Hang on, Danny Kiriaku's asking for. Oh, I'd be interested to see what Danny says.
Is this the Visa thing?
Here you go, Brentford, yeah. So Nottingham Forest have renewed their pursuit of Johan Wissa. Fresh offer made to Brentford for 28-year-old striker. The bid falls under 25 million that Forest were prepared to pay in the January window and considerably lower than the 50 million valuation that Brentford have put on his head. So Forest have tried to go in for 25 million to Wissa. I don't think you're going to get him for 25, but I've got a feeling we're now about to see a big merry-go-round of transfers. West Ham have got money. Forest have got money. Spurs are splashing money. Newcastle are now spending money. It's turning out to be quite a very interesting and fun transfer window, isn't it? I think this is going to be a record transfer window. Just my opinion.
Do you?
Yeah, I reckon it'll be a record for clubs. Yeah,
You're going to have to go past the billion, I think, to get £1 billion to get to a record. I think. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get.
Well, Man City have already done over 100. Liverpool are going to do about 200. Arsenal are going to do over 200. We've just done 100 and we've just done 115, 120 if you include Sakai. Newcastle have just done 55 million. Brighton have spent about 45 million already. Mate, we're only on the 10th of July.
With Forest, though, I don't know whether you heard today, but according to reports, Atletico Madrid have stepped away, obviously, from the Romero deal, and they're now in for Murillo.
Yay. Yeah, sorry, we got him. Lubo, just say something so we know we've got you.
Can you hear me?
Way!
We're on. No, I turned the phone off, rebooted it, and here we are.
Hi, Lubo. You're right, mate.
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. All the better for what's happened today and yesterday.
Yeah. I've got to say this, it's obviously, this isn't a normal transfer window situation, is it? This is not, we've had 20, what have we had? 48 windows, 49 windows, and it's never been like this. So for me, there must be extra money, coming into the club, whether it's outside or inward investment. And listen, I'm delighted. I've been waiting for this for 30 years, for Spurs to behave like a proper football club in the transfer window. So no complaints from me. Yeah,
it's certainly looking like a proper transfer window. Now, of course, we've got Jose in the top left there, or top right, depending which way you're looking. He's getting greedy. He wants 19 new footballers. But on a serious note, what we have done is, we could talk about Sakai. I've always said I've got no problem with £5 million signings that could become good, but said the next signings have to be first team players. And Lubo, Jose and I were just saying, these are two footballers that go straight into your first 11. This is a Ghana international. This is an England international. And we can't forget Morgan Gibbs White was just listed as one of the 8-man panel for Premier League Player of the Year. So this is a bit of a coup for me. I'm really happy. I'm really happy.
Yeah, and listen, if we get Gibbs White, that will soften the blow of Eze going to Arsenal for me, because Morgan Gibbs White is exactly the sort of player Frank wants. He's quick, he's athletic, gets around the pitch, can score, can pass. He's the perfect player for Frank. So it's starting to shape up, isn't it? He's only been here just over a week, and he's obviously starting to look at all the players in training as they come back in dribs and drabs, and he knows who he wants, and he said to the board, and I think it is the board. I don't think this is Levy. I think the fact that Charrington came on board for Lewis after last season's horrendous league performance, you're seeing a new regime in effect. I personally think Levy's got, the way it looks to me, just sort of reading between the lines. Listen, I might be completely wrong, but it looks to me as though Levy has much less influence now on the boards than he's ever had. So for me, that's
give him credit. Just give him some credit.
That's
just
a good
say,
thing.
well
That's
done,
a good
Daniel.
thing.
Well done, Daniel.
I think Charrington's come on. Lewis has looked at the mess. I cannot believe sponsors would have been happy seeing Spurs just drop one place every week for several weeks, finishing 17th. People spend a lot of money sponsoring our club. They don't expect Spurs to be 17th in the table. So for me, I think they've looked at it. Charrington coming on and Vinay have given the board credibility when it comes to bringing in investments, outside investment. I hear that he knows everyone there is to know Charrington in terms of billionaires and very high net worth individuals. And I think we're starting to see, hopefully, Spurs coming out of what has been a horrendous period. And, you know, now we can become a football team again, and not just a plaything for ENIC to make money.
Yeah. Well, look, let's look at the players. Let's look at it in more detail. By the way, there's over 1,000 of you in here, so big up to each and every one of you. 1,000 of you, only 400 likes, 4 in 10. If we had a striker that scored 4 in 10, we'd be annoyed. Come on, I'm annoyed at you lot. Smash that button. If you can't be happy today, when are you going to be happy? Also,
Absolutely.
Please get over to Jose El Del Cocorel and subscribe to him as well. If any one of my mods will be so kind to put his link in the chat, please do that. And we are moving nicely towards the 20,000 after hitting 19K yesterday. We're nearly at 19,100 already. So please smash that button for me as well. Let me just quickly get some super chats and I'll get the guys. We'll talk about the players and how they impact the team and what we can see from them. Big up to General Tracks. I love this person's name, General Tracks. I love it. So good evening, folks. This is turning into an interesting window. I mean, 48 hours ago, I was like, come on, Levy, do your thing. And 48 hours later, I'm sitting here going, bloody hell, I want to watch Spurs again. Big up to you, General Tracks. You've been very generous lately, so thank you for that. Cheers, buddy. Paul French has come back in and said Lubo is on dial-up. To be fair, Lubo is in the middle of Portugal, so he's not at home. So big up. And he looks like he's tanned a little bit since I spoke to him about 6 hours ago. So looks like you've caught a little bit of sun today, Lubo, which is nice. And I can mock people about tanning because I'm Greek. So all I have to do is get off the plane on holiday and I go, boom. And my wife hates going on holiday with me because after day one, I'm going, am I brown yet? Am I brown? How brown am I? Am I brown? Hates it. Absolutely hates it. Big up to you. Big up to Daniel Field with a super sticker. Very generous, my man. Very generous indeed. Thank you very much, Daniel. I feel emotional. I feel like we've done something. I feel like we did it. We've got 2 very good footballers through the door. Big up to G Giant 68. Said big up Sava. Signing's great. Who is next? We'll talk about that a little bit later. I know who is next is always going to be interesting. But mate, listen. At the moment, we're moving. We're moving. We've got a wide man. We've got another attacking midfielder. We've just added goals. We've added assists. We've added pace. We've added power. We've added internationals. It's all happening, my man. Big up to Higgery. Big up Higgery. I don't think I've ever seen your name before. Big up Sava. Lino has killed my ears. Chelsea fan here. Big up Sava. Lino has killed my ears. I don't know what that means. Okay. I love that transfer for you guys. No Eze now.
I think you meant Lubo. I think you meant Lubo has killed my ears when it was.
Yeah. Lubo has killed. Okay. Predicted text. Lubo has killed. Is it? Yeah. That noise was certainly very interesting, wasn't it? That Lubo was emanating from his body. Wasn't really him. It was the computer. He said, no Eze now, though. Let's bury United together. Yeah, United fans are in meltdown at the moment. And we were 48 hours ago. So big up to you, Higgery. That's very generous. Big up to Playing Dev, who's come back in and said, we haven't finished. Big links to Wharton. We're going to talk about that as well. Brian Daigle, the best ITK out there, is telling me about Wharton. Big up to you. Thank you very much. Video complete. Sofiane said maybe Levy wants to transform the team to beat PSG. Yeah, let's relax on that front. PSG are, I don't use this word lightly. They are a scary football team right now. They are sweeping everybody before them. They're like Barcelona. They're like the old Barcelona team under Enrique and Pep. They look frightening. Big up to you. Mark, thank you very much. Mark said the most excited I've been about a signing in years. Me too. Me too. Absolutely needle movers for me, Mark. Big up to you. Thank you for all your generosity over the last year or so, wherever you've been on my channel. Big up to you, Mark. And Paul French has come back in and said, offer memberships if Lubo says, well done, Levy. Just so you know, YouTubers, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think we can just offer memberships. I'm not sure if there's a way we can give out free memberships, because that does defeats the point of. Can we give out free memberships? You're on mute, I think, by the way.
Sorry, yeah. If you look on YouTube, right, and you watch your show on YouTube, if you go down to where the dollar sign is for the, show your support, as you the holder of the channel, I think you do get a limited amount of that you can give out monthly. I think I put it this way, I gave out 10 9 days ago.
So okay, so I'm in my thing. So I'm watching the show, and I go down to
membership gifting, and it should tell. Does it say to you that you've got an amount to give for free?
Ah.
Does it say that on yours as well? Yeah.
Ah. I'll tell you what, Lubo, say well done, Levy. Come on, we'll give 5 memberships. Say well done, Levy. I'll give out.
Go on, well
5.
done, Levy.
There you go. This is interesting. I've not done this before. Okay, let me give out send 5 now.
I thought you guys. Someone asked me this the other day, and I said, "Yeah, I've gifted them for free because you can. Each month it allows you to."
I tell you what, I did not know this. Well, there you go. I've just gifted. What a guy I am. Big up. What a guy I am. Paul French, thank you for the idea. I've just gifted those memberships, and we'll have a look and see where they've gone in a minute. Before we do, big up to you, Paul. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And there I am. Look, the most handsome viewer and the most handsome YouTuber. I've heard a rumor. I've just heard a rumor that I'm the most handsome. It might have been my wife that told me that. Big up to anyone who got a membership. The memberships went to oh gosh, where are we? The memberships went to Tells received a membership. I think he's a troll as well. That's funny. Fiona received a membership. Steve Combo received a membership. Jimmy Two Toes and Musings of a Football Fan. There you go. Thank you for teaching me that, Jose. I didn't know that at all. So you are all very welcome. Don't all say thank you at once. You'll embarrass me and I'll start to blush. Guys, there are people saying, well, where does Morgan Gibbs White play? We've got Kulu, we've got Maddison. Where does he play? I am completely opposite. I am like, give me lots of players. I want good players. We've got a lot of tournaments. Where does he play for you guys? What's his best position? And do you see him getting straight into the first 11?
Yes, first 11. Can I just utter a word of caution here, because he had agreed personal terms with City, and City have been messing about, not coming forward and closing the deal. So let's get him over the line first before and signs with the picture and with his contract signed and him as a Spurs player. I just worry about City. City can come in and blow us out the water. Let's not.
Lubo, what a way to put a dampener on Spurs getting the here we go and a medical tomorrow. We've got.
I just worry. Willian had a medical as well. Let's fingers crossed. It's looking good, but let's get him over the line first.
Oh, dearie me. Okay, now talk to me, Lubo, about all those other bits I talked about.
Where would he play? You could play him in any number of positions in midfield, couldn't you? We do need a 6, that's for sure. So listen, you're building a squad now, aren't you? You're looking at midfield. Apart from this, you need the 6. You got Bergvall, you got Bentancur, you got Saar, you got Gibbs White, you got Maddison, you got Kulusevski, you got Gray, and now you're gonna have Gibbs White. So you got 8 players there. You got 8 for the midfield spots. So you're now building a proper squad. Mm-hmm. I think I can see Bassuma and Bentancur both going, and him settling on 6. But we need, or 7. But we do need a 6. That is for sure. So if you could do it, do you
think it will be a 6, Lubo, or do you think it will be more of an 8? The way he plays, he doesn't tend to have an out and out holder, does he? He tends to have 2 in the midfield that both sort of drop 10 yards and protect. So do you think it will be like a Paulinho type, or do you think it will be more of a Norgard type player who's more of an 8 that defends, if that makes sense?
Well, it all depends. They've got to get players off the books now, haven't they? Kudus comes in, someone's got to go out because of the 17 non-homegrown players that you can put in a squad.
Yeah.
So for me, I would personally, I do a Bassuma Douglas Luiz swap if you could with Juventus. That keeps things nice and clean, one out, one in, and you've got the 6 that we need. So
yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. I mean, Jose, let me ask you. I mean, lots of people, I think fans worry about things that we shouldn't be worrying about. Like, oh, but if he plays there, where does Maddison go? That's the manager's problem, right? That's the manager's problem now, to have this group of players and say, right, I'm going to play, I don't know, a narrow 3 of Maddison, Gibbs White, Kudus, and then let Porro and Udogie be the width. I don't know, right? Maybe one of them starts on the bench, but this is a great problem, isn't it, Jose? This is what we want.
Yeah, it is, but it is a great problem to have, and it's a good problem to have. If you've got quality players to go and choose from, then it's a fantastic problem to have, if you're going to call it a problem. But to me, as I said earlier, with players coming in, there's players that have got to go out, because we've got a bloated squad as it is. It's imbalanced, but it's a bloated squad as it is. With the 2 players that we've got the here we goes for coming in, it means 2 players have got to go. So for me, someone in that forward line, they've got to release someone from that forward line, and I think they're going to release a midfielder as well, because otherwise we're going to have an overblown squad. Now,
Sure.
what I did say earlier on my channel was that you saw the Tottenham players have come back this week, so Tottenham Hotspur have released video from Tuesday or Wednesday. I didn't see today whether they received anything today, but it shows players coming back, and the first bit was them doing that kilometre run, and that the George Abbott won hands down. But Veliz was in that kilometre run, and the day after, Veliz has gone out on loan to Rosario Central. I saw Bassuma returning yesterday in these bright yellow. He wears three-quarter shorts, length shorts with a top, matching top. So he had this big bright yellow stuff on. Got out of the car that obviously he can't drive because he got a lift, and he's come out and he said hello and that. But he looks like he's a player that's been told, if we're led to believe, he's been told to find another club. So it could well be that not only are we buying players, but there's players that are already finding moves to other clubs, because we can't keep just buying players. We have to get rid of some as well, because otherwise we'll have a bloated squad. So for me, it's brilliant for Frank to have Kudus and Morgan Gibbs White coming in to the team. It improves us immensely. I still, as I said, I'm getting greedy now. I want more. Now I've seen 2, I want more, so I'm getting greedy. But that's only because I want Tottenham to do really well and to be able to compete on all fronts with all the other teams, like I said earlier. But I know that with the signings, I know that we're going to have to get rid of players as well. So yeah, but more, bring me more. I mean, we're linked with Wharton, we're linked with Visser, we're still linked with Eze, whether we like it or not. We're linked with Mbema. We've been linked with a lot of these players. Just bring them in. Bring them in. To me, I'm going to say bring them in and worry about the outgoings after. But I think that with Vinay and Charrington coming in, I think that we've operated in with the cloak of darkness. We've been stealth in what we've been doing because no one knew about more Gibbs White. So we've been stealth in what we're doing, which we have been in the last few years. I also think equally we're stealth in the players that we're getting rid of as well. I think that they're working on moves in the background for these players as well to go. But I want more players in.
I think there's a couple of things to say. Firstly, it would have surprised me if Johnson goes back to Forest to replace Alanga. And secondly, I think the reason why they got the Kudus deal done first is because Gibbs White is a fixed release fee. And if we'd have bought him first, I think traditionally with release clauses, all the money's paid in one go. I think had it been the other way round, then West Ham would have looked at that and thought, well, Spurs have obviously got money. We're not going to settle on 55. So it looks like they've done it the right way round. All good. You know, it's Johnson out, Kudus in. I think you're right. There's got to be players going out. So there's got to be money. There's got to be money coming back. You know, whether there's you think there's investment coming in, but it's not. It's still not going to be a bottomless pit. There's money needed if there is outside investment coming in. A lot of that money is going to be needed for the hotel as well, because they've got to get that up as part of the contract for hosting Euro 28. There's got to be a hotel on site. So, you know, it's going to, as I think I said to you the other week, Sam, I think there's going to be a lot of ins, a lot of outs. There's going to be one or two surprises as well. So, interesting.
Listen, I'm just so happy, guys. I'm still seeing I'm still seeing people that just want to bash the club. I don't know how we can bash the club. Like, this is what we wanted. We wanted Levy to move. We wanted Enoch, however, to move, wherever the money's come from. We wanted a manager that can coach. We wanted players that walk straight into the first 11. I'm so excited, and I think we've got to remember as well that last year, guys. Last year, one of the big things we all said was, and we always say this, is, oh, when so-and-so's injured, who comes in? We've not done what we need. Those same people can't now be saying, oh, well, where does so-and-so play if so-and-so does? Because that's not how big clubs act. We've got Champions League football, which means we're going to be playing twice a week, right? Most weeks, we're going to be playing twice a week. You've got the FA Cup, you've got the League Cup. There's going to be plenty of football to go around. And I don't know about you, Jose, but for me, I want to know that, all right, just by way of example, that Gibbs White can play in the number 10 in the Champions League, and then the Premier League at the weekend, James Maddison can play there, or both can play one game, or neither can play. Do you know what I mean? I want to know we've got options. I'm ecstatic. I don't know what's wrong with people.
Yeah, no, we've definitely got options. I mean, I think curiosity, rather than people worrying about. I think it might be just curiosity, because I could turn around and say, well, in the 10, you've got Maddison, you've got Decky that can play there, you've got Kudos can play there, you've got Morgan Gibbs White that can play there. Equally, I think Morgan Gibbs White can play as an 8. I think by hook or by crook, I think Kudos could play as an 8 as well. But then they can play out wide. It all depends. It's all these intriguing things that we're all thinking to ourselves, you know, where can these players play? And I think they can play in multiple positions, which is a good thing to have when you're selecting a team 3 times a week. You're playing against one team on a Saturday, playing against the team on a Wednesday, and then you're playing again on a Sunday or whatever. It's good to be able to have players that you can rotate so they don't get burnt and overkill like we did last year. Well, last year, even with the injuries we had, I don't feel that we rotated anyway, nowhere near as much as what we should have done. But now, you know, we've got that. If you've got strength in depth, it means that you can then rotate and change your lineups according to the teams that you are playing to avoid burnout. But again, as I said, it's brilliant for Frank to have this. The other plus for me is that we have our first pre-season match next Saturday. But forget about the pre-season match. It's the fact that we've got 2 players in during pre-season. It means that they'll get a proper pre-season, acclimatization with the players, and acclimatization with the club. And that's what we want. We don't want to be waiting till 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the end of the window, because by then the season's kicking off. So, you know, at the end of the day, it all bodes really, really well. It bodes well that we're bringing them in now. I know it's probably annoyed a few people that we didn't make signings 2 weeks ago, but now that we started making these signings, we've made them at the right time. They're going to be here for pre-season. They'll be here for acclimatization with the players and the club. And as I said, I'm turning into Mr. Greedy Guts here, because I'm wanting more players. I'm wanting us to go and sign another 3 or 4 £50 million players, because if we've got the money, and we sell players as well, and we bring money in, then the intent is there. Everything I've ever wanted for Tottenham, and I think I share this with everybody in the chat and the guys on the screen. We just want to see our club do really well. We want to see our club compete, you know. And at the end of the day, this is a sign of intent. Bringing 2 players in 24 hours is a sign of intent, and obviously, I want more.
No, listen, I completely agree. I think that's a really good point, though, Lubo, that Jose's brought up there. Is 2 days ago, one of the big things that I was pushing was, well, hang on, we're going to Korea. We're going to South Korea in 20 days or 19 days, whatever it is now. It was like, we can't be going out there without new first-team players. You know, it's pointless going all the way for a tour and all of our friendlies don't have any new players. These two are now in before we've even had our first two UK-based ones, which are Luton followed by Reading, or the other way around. Reading followed by Luton, right?
Reading first.
Reading followed by Luton. They did, however, we didn't get them in time to play Bromley, which was poor from Spurs, if we're going to be brutally honest. But that is a massive thing, Lubo, right?
Did you see the team they picked against? Against Bromley.
Yeah, I saw, mate. I saw. I was just kidding. But it's paramount, right? They're going to be going on tour. These two as a minimum. Maybe we're going to get a few more in the next 20 days. I genuinely don't know. It's massive, right?
Listen, I've just seen on one of the groups, someone just texts are flashing up at the top. And Adrian put, "Wouldn't it be great to get Harry Kane? Wouldn't it just?" Hey, well, Harry, what do you think of this? Look at all of this, Harry. Come back. How good would that be?
Kane with Kudus, Maddison, and Morgan Gibbs White behind him. I want Robinson bought from Fulham as the left back, Porro on the right, and then Wharton and somebody else in central midfield as the anchors. Yeah.
There you go.
So you're being as greedy as me now. Look.
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel Levy, 2 in 24 hours just isn't enough. We need 5. We need at least 5.
That's it.
But on a serious note, we're not. I don't think we're going to get a player like Kane. But I would love us while we're in this vein. Go and get Wissa. Do you know what I mean? Go and get. If there are players that you want, now is a great time, isn't it? You rock up and you go, listen, we just bought Gibbs White, we just bought Kudus. You're next. We're building a team. You're my guy, and you build from a position of strength, right, Lubo?
Correct. But if this is serious, and I'm not joking, people think I've actually, the sun's got to my head. But if you are looking to strengthen the team in several positions, and there's big money to spend this season, and you're going to bring in some real quality players, then you go to Bayern Munich and you go and ask Kane, do you want to come back? No question about it. He is a world-class striker. Sure. we were talking about Wissa and Vlahovic, weren't we, this morning on your show? So yeah. I mean, Kane knocks a pair of them into a corner. Go and get Kane. For me, you want to show serious intent.
Before we say go and get Kane, is he?
If he wants to come back.
Is he available? I mean, are Bayern Munich going to sell Harry Kane? Really? 2 years after buying him, they're going to sell him?
I think Kane. I don't think Kane comes. Kane don't come this season. You go knocking on Bayern's door. It's not this season. I think Kane. I think Kane with winning the league last year, right? That's the first joke he's got. I think that Kane would not look elsewhere at all. I think Kane would stay at Bayern for their defense of the title and obviously to go again in the Champions League. So I don't think this is the year for Kane. I think you need to see how it plays out this season, and he'll be a year older, but I don't think this is the year for Kane.
Jose, number one, he can play Champions League football with us. Number two, if the team has been strengthened and there's major intent shown, then he may look at it. And thirdly, he wants that Premier League record off Shearer, and he's only 47 behind. So he's thinking, how many years have I got left? Why not?
Bring 3 more players in. Bring 3 more players in, Lubo. 3 more quality players that affect your first team. So that means that we bought 5, and then possibly you've got something to go to the table with. 2 players at the moment ain't enough.
No, I agree. You
need another 3, at least another 3 to even entertain down at the table.
Also, you've got to think about Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have just lost Jamal Musiala for I believe it's a season-long injury. You've got to think about these things. Are they going to want to turn around and go, okay, we've lost Musiala for the year. I'll tell you what, let's sell Harry Kane, one of the world's best strikers. Listen, Lubo, I'm there with you in spirit. I'm there with you in thought process. I just think that it's barking up the wrong tree. For me, I think the more sensible is something like a Wissa. I think it is somebody quick, rapid, like a Wissa, that knows Thomas Frank, that knows how he plays. That's where I would be going sensibly for me, just me personally.
It's more realistic, isn't it?
Yes.
It's more
I like
realistic.
that you dream, though. I like that you dream.
Well, listen, this chap sat next to me. I told you the story, didn't I? Chap sat next to me at the Alkmaar game in October. And just by pure coincidence, he hadn't renewed. He wasn't on the gold ticket scheme for cup games, so he bought his ticket from the club. By pure chance, he was sat next to me. It's someone I've known who actually said to me about 5 or 6 years ago, he said to a crowd of us, Bale was coming back for a season, and everybody laughed at him. And he said, no, this guy has told me Bale is coming back. And then he came and sat next to me, and I hadn't seen him for a few years. And he said to me, do you remember how you took the mickey out of me about Bale? So I said, yeah. He said, well, the same guys told me that Harry Kane's coming back. And if it's not this coming winter transfer window, then it'll be next summer. So he said, you're not taking the mickey now, are you? You're not going to laugh at me now, are you? So I said, look, based on your record with Bale, I'm not going to argue with you, but let's see what happens. So that's what I've been told. The same guy who is well in with, who knows Bale, who is cousins with Bale's wife or something. I don't know, but anyway, that's where it's come from. So let's see if Kane does come back.
Yeah, listen, if he comes back in a few, I just can't see it happening. 10th of July, I can't see where. I haven't seen obviously any links. I haven't seen that Bayern would sell him. I genuinely don't think he'd leave after just winning the league title. But look, guys, I want to talk about another player that's started to get linked with us. And I'll be honest, I'll eat humble pie if this one happens, because I said I just can't see it. It's going to be too expensive. I can't see it. We've missed the boat. By the way, this is one of those ones where I would love to be wrong. You know, some opinions you want to be right. Some you want to be wrong. Is Adam Wharton. I'm starting to see a lot of noise about it. Now, I don't know if any of it is true, but there's a lot of reports that we have had a bid or have tested the waters. I don't know. Do you think that is doable? I mean, I think I'd love him in our midfield. I'll ask you to if you would, but do you think it's gettable, and would you want him?
I think that with the news that came out yesterday or the day before about Lyon winning their appeal, right? So they've been reinstated because Lyon said to the UEFA, if we lose our appeal, then we'll take the sanction that we're going to get dropped out of Europe. But if we win our appeal, then we want to be back in. And that Dexter, whatever his name is,
Yeah, John Textor.
Yeah, he's still got the problem with Palace, and Lyon now being reinstated to the league means that Lyon are now being reinstated back into the Europa League. There is rumours out there saying that they're going to take Crystal Palace out of the Europa League. Even if they took Crystal Palace out and put them in the conference, not expel them completely, but put them into the conference, then people like Wharton and other players, they may look at Champions League football as opposed to playing Conference League football. I think that would make a difference. And then if that does happen, I feel sorry for Palace if it does happen. But then with that happening, I think that you might well see some of Palace's players saying, "Look, I want to go and play Champions League football." But with the price on Morton, is another thing. Is he worth? I mean, there were people saying 100 million before. Now, obviously, people are not saying 100 million now, but people are still talking about north of 70 million for Wharton. Is that a price too far for Tottenham? I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, Lubo. I think again, Jose makes another really good point about the Crystal Palace players and Europe, etc. For me, I'm not. My concern wouldn't be, would Wharton want to move to Tottenham? I truly believe we should be able to go to Crystal Palace and take a player. I'm sorry, Crystal Palace fans, I know it sounds harsh, but we should. It would be more about, would Palace let him go? Do they need the money, and how much would they want for him? What do you reckon to all of that, Lubo?
Listen, every player's got his price, and it all depends if Spurs would go to that. The other thing also is that I would think, firstly, they would line that up, then move two of their midfield players on, who you would think would be any two out of Bassuma, Bentancur and Sarr. So you'll get money for those two, for any two, and that money goes towards Wharton. So you could end up just paying 30, 40 million afterwards on Adam Wharton. It'd be a fantastic buy. Kid is absolute class. You know, you're buying him. How old is he? 20, 21? I mean, it's one of the best number sixes in the country. He is absolutely superb. And it's only a matter of time before somebody like City or Liverpool come in for him. So for me, go and get it. If there's any chance of getting him, you go and buy him. You go and buy him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd love him. I think he'd be a perfect player for Spurs. I think now, you know, it was one we missed out on when we went and got Phillips. You know, we were scouting Blackburn and we got Phillips rather than Wharton. But I do think it would take a big fee to get him out. And I don't know how many big fees are we going to spend. And look, we've got Danny Kiriakou in the house who for all summer has been spamming my chat room with, have we signed anyone yet? Have we signed anyone yet? Well, Danny, there's 2 in 24 hours. How are you feeling? What we saying? What we saying?
Yeah, I think. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think. Can you hear me now? Is it?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Perfect. Yeah. So I think it's great. I think it's unbelievable. I think this, I don't remember a time under Levy where we've signed 2 players of quality that go straight into the first 11. So for me, I've said from the beginning of this window, if we sign 2 really good players who make this team better than what it was, right, and not just rotation players, first team players, right, then for me it's a 10 out of 10 window already, right, because he's never done it before. That I've been saying this all summer, right? So for me, I think it's unbelievable, right? And the other thing I want to say is I think Gibbs White is I think he's a very good player. I think he's going to add a lot to our team, especially from a deep lying position. And I've got a funny feeling that he's been brought in for that reason, to be that deep lying playmaker, to allow Maddison to go further forward. Because if he's going to play that 4-2-3-1 type formation that he's going to play, then or 4-1 2, whatever it is, 4-3-2-1, yeah. I think that's going to allow Maddison less defensive responsibilities, and it's going to make our team more flowing, I think, in the way that we were going to play football. I think we're going to play better football with these players in our team. And yeah, I'm just excited for it, man. I think it's and just to see what Thomas Frank can do with players like these. And I think I didn't expect us to go and get someone like Gibbs White, but I can see why they've gone and got him. Not just because he's a good player, but the homegrown issue that we've got a massive problem with. And I think bringing in him, I think it's going to help with that kind of issue. So it's like hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, to be honest. And I'm all for it. I think just bring on the next player. Keep signing some players. And the other thing I was going to say is for the club to sign 2 players of 50, 60 million pounds, there must be something going on in the background, some kind of investment, because I don't think it's going to stop, if I'm honest. I actually think we're going to spend more money, and I think it's going to be a lot more than we think, because there's no way Daniel Levy comes out and says we want to win the Premier League and want to win the Champions League, right? And then we go and drop 115 million pounds on 2 players in 2 days, right? And I know we're going to sell players, but I just got a funny feeling there's more to come. It's weird saying that, knowing that over the years we've always sort of had our knees taken out from Daniel Levy, with all the players that we've lost out on and all the players we could have signed and should have signed, and now we're actually signing quality players. It's something is different is happening, and I'm not gonna say that we're gonna sit here and say we're gonna sign like another 80-90 million pound player or 70 million pound player, but I wouldn't say it's beyond the possibility of delusion, to be honest, because what we're seeing at the moment is completely different to what we've seen in the past. So I'm all for it. I'm loving it. I think it's finally it's something the fans deserve to have and deserve to be sort of excited by, the players that we're bringing into the club, and something to get behind, because it's what I'm liking as a whole. What Tottenham have done is they've got someone. The board has changed. We've got Colin out. We've got Vinay in. Levy's he's sort of looks like he's going to take maybe a little step back from footballing matters and run more the business side of things and let Vinay do that. We don't know if Paratici's still going to come in. It looks like he's still going to come in. I don't know. And they seem to be shaping up everything. They've got new medical people in the medical department from Brentford. They've got new coaches. We've signed 2 players that go straight into the first team it's like things are different at the moment, and I'm loving it.
It's a very, very different Spurs at the moment. Let me just do a couple of super chats, guys. Saga, maybe a silent T. It said team potential through the roof. What a signing. Yeah, listen, I think somebody said it earlier. I don't know if it was Lubo or Jose, but it's exactly what Thomas Frank likes, right? The physicality, the engine, good on the ball. He's, you know, one's 24, one's 25, right? They're both at that good age. Fitness-wise, they're both good as well. So for me,
I think that's what makes it more surprising, Sav. I think it's like they've actually gone and got players who are very good players right now, who are still not in their prime. And you can, and with a coach like Thomas Frank, you can actually develop them to become even better than what they are right now, which is at a very good level in the Premier League. So that's what's exciting, is the fact that we're getting them now, and we can actually help mold them into the players they should be. And that's what's
and we've
exciting.
got a coach. We've got a coach to do that. So big up, Saga. Thank you very much for your super chat. Big up to Alex McCarthy, who's been a member for 6 months. Welcome, Alex. Thank you for being a member, and I really, really do appreciate you. Don't forget, you're eligible for the member-only shows, my man. Big up to you, Alex. Thank you. Paul French has come in. Again, big up to you and said 100% happy. Paul, surely every Spurs fan's got to be happy tonight, right, after our last 24, 30 hours. Like, got to be happy. Only concern is, will Bergvall lose out a bit? Look, we're going to play a lot of football, my man. We're going to play a lot of football. And we need a squad. We need a squad of players. And I like Bergvall, but I want what's better for Tottenham, not what's better for one footballer. Oh, someone just bought a fan.
Oh, I've got a fan on.
Oh, sorry. That sounded like Lubo earlier. We'll talk about Bergvall in a minute. Big up to you, Paul. Thank you very much. Andy Lester's come in and said, what you saying, Lubo? Big up, Sava. Exciting week. Yeah, Lubo. What you saying? Yeah, Lubo.
I don't know.
What are you saying?
I've said a lot.
What are you saying?
Which part?
What is he saying? Big up to you, Andy. Gary Morton Barley has said, expect departure announcements soon. Happy days. We'll talk about departures in a minute. We will, because it's easier to buy than it is to sell. That's the problem. You're almost in control of your buying. Your selling is very reliant on other clubs coming in. Big up to you, Gary. We'll talk about that in a second. Ian JD, big up, said, these signings excite me because we have a coach. Absolutely. This is the thing. I don't want managers like Ange having footballers like this. I want Frank as a coach to have them. I do. That's why I'm so happy. Manager, signings, board are doing what we want. Right now, it's very difficult to turn around and go, oh, this is shit, or I don't like this. Ride the wave. We've got to ride the wave. Big up to you, Ian. Guys, let me ask that point then. So now in the midfield, you've got Gray, Bergvall, Sarr, Bentancur, Bassuma. Bit further forward, you've got Kulu, Morgan, Gibbs White, Maddison, unless I'm missing any midfielders in there. Are they all going to stay? Do some of them need to go? Who's first choice? Like, talk to me about the midfield options.
Where does that mean? That you would think now Donnelly goes back out on loan, probably to either Chris Davis at Birmingham or Ryan Mason at West Brom. You would think one of those two, and maybe Mikey Moore as well.
Yeah, spot on. I mean, but in terms of the midfield players that are there at the moment, forget Donnelly. The midfield players there at the moment, Bassuma out, Bentancur out, Sarr, like who, they can't all be there, right? Especially if all the fans want a new midfielder as well, like a six type player.
Well, if you could bring Douglas Luiz hopefully in a swap with someone like Bassuma or Bentancur, so that would be a straight swap. And one more to go. He's going to keep Gray. He's going to keep Bergvall. Plus one more. So how many do you need defensively? Four defensively. And you need maybe three. You've got Maddison, Kulu, and Kudus, Gibbs White. You know, you've got four there as well. So, and particularly if he plays three at the back, then you've got Porro, Udogie, Spence as wing backs as well. So you don't need the right winger or the right winger, left winger that hugged the touchline last season in Johnson and Son. So it does start to look like he's going to play three at the back. You know, they're bringing in centre backs. We were short defensively last season because of injury. So for me, it's starting to shape up. Listen, it could be completely wrong, but I just figure he's going to play three at the back. He's going to play two wing backs. He'll maybe play three in the middle, and he'll play two up front.
Oh, you definitely think he's going to the wing backs?
I definitely think he's going for wing backs now. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So, in that theory, then let's talk about it. In that theory of wing backs, cool. Whatever back three, Udogie and Porro as it stands as wing backs.
Yeah.
So then you've got three in midfield and two up front. So we're talking about where do you fit in Kudus? Where do you fit in Gibbs White, Maddison? Like I don't see he does that, because I think you've now knocked out two of your three creative players, haven't you?
Well, listen, you could play Kudus up front with Solanke, couldn't you?
Yeah, but wouldn't that be a complete waste of what we bought him for, though? Like, I think now we bought another attacking player like that. I think it fits into the 4-2-3-1 he plays, right? Doesn't it? Rather than the wing backs.
Well, listen, Kudus is strong on the ball, powerful, beats players. You know, if he's further inside, and you've got people like you've got Porro on his outside, Porro and Kudus could do major damage. With Kudus being further in, you know, creating, you know, closer to goal.
Mm.
It's the thought, you know, how many centre backs do you actually need? At the moment, I think we've got 10. We've got 10 centre backs. So for me, it looks like you're going to be playing three centre backs, three at the back rather than two. You're not going to keep all 10, obviously. So you really need 6, don't you? If you're going to play three at the back, you need 6 centre backs. So we've got 10 at the moment.
I think the one thing I will say about the two signings that we've made, right? Well, the more I think about it, they're young. What are they? Both 24 years of age or something along them lines?
Yeah,
25 is
25.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
24 and 25. Right. They're players that were at the top of their game at their clubs. They're at the top of their game at the Premiership. So we've bought players that are on the up, not on the decline. Right. But also we've bought players where Tell and Odobert. How much will Tell and Odobert learn from Mohamed Kudus and Morgan Gibbs White? How much will Bergval and Grace? And remember last season, the complaints that we made last season, quite a lot of us was that we're buying all these youngsters and they've got no one to learn from. Well, we haven't bought 30-year-old schooled players here. We bought 2 players that they can learn a lot from. And to me, it you know, what Frank's doing there, it just bodes really, really well, because your players will learn off these two. The youngsters will learn off these 2 players. For me personally, I think Bassuma is probably on his way out. Right. I don't think Bentancur is, because there's been talk about Tottenham wanting to offer Bentancur a new contract. And that's since Thomas Frank has been with us, there's been talk about a new contract for him. So to me, I think he goes, the Bassuma goes. With the forwards, I still think Sonny could still go. I still think Sonny could go. I mean, they were saying that he'd stay. I think if a decent offer came in for Sonny, I think Sonny could be another player that could be released. I listened to what Lubo had to say about Johnson, with the fact that we bought Gibbs White in. I sold a Langer. Johnson could be used to go back to Nottingham Forest. You're quite right with the centre halves. A lot of the centre halves we've got, I think, will go out on loan. Apart from Ben Davis is the one that I'd sell, but then quite a lot of them are young. So you got Takai, Phillips, Dorrington, Vuskovic. You've got a lot of young centre halves there that could possibly do with going out on loan. Because then that still leaves you with Danso, Dragusin, Van der Ven, and Romero. So the wing backs, if we're going to play a free at the back, my concern with the wing backs is that we only have 3 of them. unless we can shoe in another one. We only have 3 at the moment. You've got your Porro and the Doggy, and then you've got Spence. And you know, it's finding you like to have at least 2 players for every position. So
But
if we're going to go to the wing back system, we need to buy another wing back.
So let me ask you then. So I've just listen, I've just
I think Richarlison was going as well. There's another one I think's going.
Well, look, if we look at
Solomon as well.
If we look at this, what Lubo was saying in the wing back formation, right? So you've got, forget whoever people want at the defense. That's not the point of this exercise, right? I just don't know how with what we've just bought, it makes sense now to play the wing backs, because who fits in where? Who fits in where from the players that we bought?
At the moment, you've got bet. I'd say if you're talking right now, it'd be Bentancur,
right,
and Morgan Gibbs White.
Okay.
James
if
Maddison.
You do this, Morgan Gibbs White, Madison,
and Kudos.
You think we're going to play him there?
Well, if you're going to play with a 2 up front, then that's what I'd be looking. If these two walk into your team, right? We've said all show these 2 players that we're purchasing are going to walk straight into the team. Then
sure,
you're gonna have to put who plays up front with Solanke?
No, I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to do one up top. He's going to go three across the midfield. He'll do the two sitting behind, and then 4 defenders. He'll do this kind of formation, maybe in games, switching it up, maybe change tactics. Maybe if he wants to play a certain way against a certain team, he might do that on like a, I don't know, every so often, or there might be occasions where he does it. But I think his system is going to be like this. That's why I think his default kind of go-to is this. So that's just my opinion.
This is how he played, by the way. This is how he played at Brentford.
Like that.
Right? He played a 4-2-3-1 more often than not.
This is exactly it.
Yeah.
Is this what I mean, I reckon that right now is our strongest 11 on paper. That's just me.
Yep.
I think that's our strongest 11. Now, people will argue for Bergvall, but as I've said, guys, what I need to see from Bergvall is, what is he? I'm not saying that. Now, hear me out, guys. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm just saying that the kamikaze tactics of last year didn't allow me to work out, what is he? You know, yeah, he can play, but is he a 6? Is he an 8? Is he and if he is an 8, he's not as good as Gibbs White. If he is a 10, he's not Madison, right? This, for me, probably is where I see it clearer. For me, that's just me.
So the thing is, instead of Son there, sorry, Dan, instead of Son there, Frank has come out and spoken about Matthias Tell.
Yeah,
he said that Matthias Tell will not be the player that he was last season. He will not be utilised like that. And he said that Tell would be in more advanced positions, and he will add goals to Tell's game. Now, if we look at when Brentford played this system before, they had Solanke up front, and then Bassuma and Vissa were either side, didn't they, when they played that system? And I think he's turned around, Frank, and said that Tell, he will utilise Tell, he will coach Tell, and will get more out of him in advanced positions, and he will score more goals. So he's actually publicly come out. But what I'm saying is that he's publicly come out and spoken about Tell. He's referenced Tell and what he can and can't do with Tell. He's already come out and done this.
I'll be honest, I'll be so unhappy if Tell starts in that forward line. I'll be so unhappy. It just feels like it's so like Kudus is an excellent winger, and Tell, for me, everyone knows my feelings on Tell. Can I just?
What if he gets a tune out of him though?
I think he will. Sure. I think he will. Do you know what, Sam? I know you're not a fan of him, but I've seen something in Tell that I think he's got rawness to him, right? And I know that you've watched him in under 21 games and this kind of stuff, but there have been moments where I've seen with Tell, and I think there is something in that player, and he's got the right attitude, right? So that's not the problem. The attitude's not the problem; it's the ability, right? If you can get if Frank can do what he did with Mbeumo, I'm not saying he's going to do that with Tell, but I'm saying there is a potential in there to make him a completely different player than what we've seen. And I genuinely, and you got to remember, he's only a kid. He's 19. He's not old. He's still quite young.
I know,
So,
but for me personally, Danny, I don't want a hit and hope on our left wing. I think if we're buying proper players like Kudus and like Gibbs White, I want a proper left-sided player as well. Listen, look, that's just me. Can I just throw another option in there? Right now, I can only go with the formations that they give me here, right? So I can't really show you exactly what I mean. But what about something like this? I'll put Bergvall because this is based on the squad we've got, right? This is not based on who we want to bring in. What about this? But what I need you to just imagine a little bit here is Maddison and Kudus inside, right? So that we've got the three that are allowed to do their thing behind the striker, and then Udogie and Porro being the guys that offer all the width going on the outside rather than the inside like last year. And then you've got Bentancur and Bergvall, which protect Van der Ven and Romero. I would like to see something a little bit more like that if we don't buy a proper left winger. That's only me. I'm
with Danny, but me more about agreed than Danny that we bring more players are going to come in. Got a feeling that more players will come in, and this lineup we're talking about now, we're only talking about because we've got 2 new additions. But by the end of the transfer window, this lineup will change because we will have more additions.
No, absolutely, Jose. Of course, I could. Jose, listen, I can only deal with the cards I've got. Right, these are the cards I've got at the moment. This is all I can deal with. I just
don't you put any under your sleeve?
No, and I've got no sleeves, man, no sleeves. Look, I mean, we could play about with that all day long. I think the interesting thing for me is, I really think that we're going to actually see the fullbacks being utilised this year. As options out wide. And I think it's something where we were so sorely lacking last year. I didn't want Porro coming inside. I wanted him on the outside with the forwards driving into the middle, which is where Brennan Johnson should have actually, that's where he's better. Instead, we had Johnson hugging the touchline, Son hugging the touchline, and neither of those two want to be hugging touchlines. So for me, I think if you're building a partnership, Porro and Kudus, it's great for me because Kudus works hard to get him back. Kudus can go on the outside or the inside because he's super skillful, but he wants to drive onto his left foot, right? So we'll have the wingers cutting inside rather than the fullbacks, and the fullbacks cutting outside other than the wingers. That's only what I want to see, guys. And the way Thomas Frank played last year absolutely sums that up.
Do you know what? We may even have a proper squad with a manager who's a proper coach that can play different systems for the first time that I can remember. Because, you know, we were super for a few years under Poch, but he never had the numbers, did he? Unfortunately. And for me, this seems to be starting to fall into place. It's really exciting. It really is. You know, if they carry on like this and we pick up 2 or 3 really good players, all of a sudden you're getting a really good squad here, you know, that's starting to become competitive.
Also, the thing is, they can actually do some smart deals. Like if they really wanted to, right?
Sure.
They, like, for example, if these rumors are true that Bassuma is Juve want Bassuma, then I would do everything possible to try and get someone out of Juventus, like a Vlahovic or like a. For me, the one I want is Douglas Luiz. I think we bring in someone like that. I think our number 6 is sorted. And you're getting in a top quality number 6 for a reasonably low price, considering what you'd have to pay anywhere else, because you can use him to your advantage.
Would you not want Adam Wharton, Danny? Would you not want Wharton?
I would prefer Adam Wharton, of course. If Tottenham go and spend 70 million pound on Adam Wharton, oh my God, I wouldn't believe it, to be honest. Adam Wharton for me he'd be my number 1 person, because I think he's a quality player for his age, English as well. I think unbelievable.
Can I just quickly show you something, guys? So I just wanted to bring this up. So this is looking at Keane Lewis Potter, and the reason I'm looking at Keane Lewis Potter is, of course, he was Thomas Frank's left back at Brentford. We can see there that this is what I fully expect to see from Udogie next season. I fully expect to see that from Udogie in terms of the heat map being look at the red. The red is hugging the touchline, and I don't know about you guys. That's where I want my fullbacks. I don't want my fullbacks playing in centre mid with James Maddison. Right, I want them there. So sorry, I know I drummed that point home. I'm just really, really hopeful that can happen. But Jose, I know you need to go, don't you? Thank you very much. Everybody, please subscribe to Jose. Always been a big supporter of my channel, so let's support his channel. Smash the subscribe button for @LTelCockerel. And if one of my mods could put his link back in the chat, that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on, Sava. Luba, have a lovely holiday. See you when you get back.
Mate.
Danny, pleasure as always, mate.
Always.
God bless you all.
Always, Jose. And
God bless you all. And
Good to see you,
God bless
Jose.
everyone. And God bless everyone in the chat. Come on, you Spurs. Let's get some more signings.
Can I ask? Have you seen any of the rumors about this? Like a Saudi sponsor have got some sort of cash injection into Spurs. Do you think those rumors could be true? Like someone saying like on Twitter, you're seeing different links, but I saw another article today. It says something about a £300 million injection into Spurs. Do you think maybe that's why we're spending the money that we're spending?
Yeah, I mean, Lubo, you talked about this earlier. It definitely feels like something. I've heard, though, that it's American. I don't know. I've heard it's an American company. I mean, I don't care where the money comes from, if I'm brutally honest.
Neither do I.
So something's definitely happening, right? Because normally a deal like this today, when do we go and slap down somebody's 60 million release clause?
Never, Sam. We've never done it. We even got Kudus's money down from 85 million to 55 million pounds. I mean, Daniel Levy worked, or whoever did that deal worked an absolute miracle to do that deal.
It's not who we are, mate.
Yeah. It's like, but the thing is, it's weird because we've never been a team to go and pay a release clause for any player, and the fact that we've gone and done it in 2 days, something is definitely up at the club, and none of us know what's going on, and that's what's making it. Yeah, go on.
I wonder whether Johnson's going the other way.
Do you know what? I don't think he is. I don't think Frank wanted him at Brentford.
Yes, you're right.
He wanted him at Brentford, and I think maybe there's something to it. Maybe they're thinking Morgan Gibbs White, very good midfielder. He's a deep line playmaker. He's got ability. He's got ability all round. He's got an all round game to him. He can score goals. He's a great assister. He's a great passer of the ball. He's good in defensive work, but also he can help maybe raise Brennan Johnson's game. I'm just putting out there. I'm just not saying that's what's going to happen, but you never know.
Danny, they need 300 million, 300 to 350 million for the hotel. So the outside investment that's needed is north of 500 million.
So maybe it might be a big investment like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, guys, there's reports now going around tonight that Spurs are desperately trying to add a midfielder in the next few days as well. So it does feel very different, which would tell you that there is definitely investment from somewhere.
I can send you the article after, Sav, the one that I saw where they're talking about someone in Saudi Arabia. I think it might be linked with Amanda what's her name? Amanda, whatever her name is.
Stavely,
yeah, Stavely. That's it, Stavely. And they're talking about a £500 million investment. So if that is true, right, and we're seeing these links to Wissa, we're seeing these links to Wharton now. Some people have even come out and said that we've actually made an offer for Wharton already, and that it was turned down, and apparently we're going to make another offer for Wharton. So if that's true, could you imagine if Spurs go and bring in Wharton and Visser? It blow your mind. Like, what is going on? Like, I think Brian Daigle will get one of Perchie's "I Love Daniel Levy" shirts.
I did ask him to give me a Lubo. An AI Lubo with a "I love Daniel Levy" now.
Yeah. Lubo, would you say that? Would you say "I love Daniel Levy" if we bring in Visser and?
I'd have to start arguing with Sean. You know, who's been at all the Levy out process now. I'd have to start telling Sean he's wrong. So yeah.
Well, by the way, just to say, this is our transfer record, isn't it?
60 million, I think
60 million is, yes, it is, because
Yeah.
Solanke's the current record at 57 before the add-ons.
Yeah. By the way, can I just say, right? So when we're bringing up that team lineup, I just want to say, like, I'm fully aware that not every player's going to start every game. It was just a loose conversation. I think what it does is it gives us options, and I think that's what we're all grateful for. Right? Could be Bentancur. Listen, the reason I put Bentancur in there, a lot of people going, "Oh no, not Bentancur," is because Frank has again alluded to Bentancur a few times now, hasn't he? What I am going to say is, what does this do for? What does this do for Sarr, for Gray? Like, it's going to be very difficult now for some of these younger lads to get game time. People are talking about Tyrese Hall. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. There's a lot of players coming in, and at the moment, we're going to need players to go out, right? So, does your boy Gray go out on loan, Lubo?
I'd keep him. I would keep him.
Where did he get game time though? That's the problem, Lubo. I know we've had this chat before, but
we're going to play. Listen, we're going to play a lot of games, and we're going to get injuries. We're going to get injuries, and Frank likes Gray, so let's see what he can do with him.
We know he liked Gray for Brentford, but I think Frank's an intelligent man to know that this isn't Brentford. So when we talk about Johnson and Gray for Brentford, it's a very different standard and level, isn't it, to Tottenham and Champions League? So
yes, but it's still Premier League.
I can't see where he gets minutes. I can't even see in a rotated team where he gets minutes. I think he's the worst of all the midfielders we've got. That's the problem. I think he's going to have to playing football for Tottenham this year.
Let's see where we stand on September the 1st.
Sure. But you understand my worry is if he stays, my worry for him as a footballer is this will be another year where he's not getting regular. Like, can we be brutally honest? He's not a first 11 player, is he? Can we, if we're going to be honest, right?
No. So, but he never has been. He never has been since he started.
Sure. So doesn't he need a season of guaranteed football and learning the game? I feel like we're stunting his development.
Maybe.
I think Gray needs to go to a team where he's going to play in the Premier League and he's going to play in the midfield position for a season. That's what I think he needs, and he needs a full season in the midfield and not this rotation kind of malarkey that he's had for the last few years, including in Leeds as well when he was at Leeds, because that's what most of the time he played at right back for that last season he was there, wasn't he? So.
The way Gallagher went to Palace and had that loan period.
Yeah, well, this is exactly. But this is what I mean, Lubo. This is why I'm saying I think Gray needs to, because if we're going to bring in, right, just argument's sake, if we're going to bring in, say another midfielder, say we bring,
say Wharton comes in,
we bring in Wharton, right? We've then got Wharton, Bentancur, we've got Bergvall, we've got Morgan Gibbs White, we've got Maddison in the midfield, we've got Sarr, right?
We've got
it's
Sarr.
like, and it's like, who else? When is Archie Gray going to actually get in the team? And that's the thing. So for me, if we all want Archie Gray to, let's say, argument's sake, fulfill his potential, I think he needs a type of loan exactly like Gallagher had. That's what I think he needs, and I can't see any other way he's going to develop. Spurs, he needs to have that loan. He has to. And also, can I just say as well, just to add to what Sav was saying in the comments, we need to get more likes on this stream, guys, because it's ridiculous. Sava works tirelessly to put out the content every single day for you, and it doesn't cost a single penny. So just smash that like. Let's get the likes up. There's nearly 900 people watching. So come on, let's get likes up, guys. Let's get likes up. Smash that like. Takes you a second.
Sav, I've got a family very hungry at the moment waiting for me, so I'm going to jump off.
Oh, go. Me and Danny will talk.
And we'll see you soon, no doubt.
Come on, of course. Go and enjoy.
Keep this going, Enoch and Peter Sherrington. Keep it going, guys. See ya.
Yeah. See you, mate. Yeah, but I mean, Danny, it does beg the question with a lot of footballers at Tottenham now. Like, we are going to have to see a hell of a lot of outgoings.
Yeah, definitely.
Because believe it or not, we've got a big squad. We do. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, no depth." We have, but
it might not be quality, but we've got a lot. Yeah, we've got a lot. There's a lot of players that need to go, I think, and you've got to try and recuperate some of the money from the players we can get money for right? For example, like the first name on my lips when I think about who we should sell is Solomon, right? We need to get rid of him. He's someone you can actually get a fee for at least 20 million, I think, right? I think you could get that, right? Richarlison, another one. I think you could get 20 million for him. I think you could easily get 20 million for Richarlison. You've already got 40 million.
I think the problem with him is he doesn't seem to want to go himself, Danny. I feel like that's the problem with him, right?
Of course he doesn't want to go because he's getting paid. He knows he's not going to play at a high level, right? How many times have we said this about players in the past, Sav, where players don't want to leave Spurs because it's cushy for them, because they know that they've got the best training ground, they've got all the best facilities and all this kind of stuff. They're in London, they're playing a massive stadium in a brand new stadium. Why would they want to leave when they're getting paid good money? It's like, because a lot of the players that tend to leave Spurs, it's not these days. It's the very few that go on to better clubs. Most of them go to lesser clubs. And no disrespect for the other clubs, but most of the players that leave Spurs go to the lesser clubs, which is why we don't ever get lots of money for transfers, because a lot of the players tend to go to like the Leicesters or the, no disrespect to Leicester, or the Wolves and these type of teams, right? Like it's like only the Harry Kanes and maybe the Gareth Bales go to the next level of clubs, like the super clubs, we'll call them, right?
Yeah.
And
no. Listen, I completely agree with you. Listen, what we are going to see is, I think, as I was saying, outgoings are more difficult to do because you've got to have buyers, right? You've simply got to have buyers. We saw that in the casing point with Aleo Valise. Right? It's all well and good saying we don't want him anymore. But if no one comes in with a concrete bid, you have to loan and you have to do all these things. And I've got a feeling that we're going to end up seeing quite a few go out on loan. And that's okay. So. That's okay. But with the loans, you need to make sure you get as many obligation to buys as possible rather than options, because otherwise you end up doing the same game next summer and the summer after. But mate, I do think there'll be a lot to go. I do think that anybody who's thinking these youngsters are going to get a game, we're looking at the likes of Scarlett, Divine, Donnelly.
If I do you know what? If I could sell Divine, I would sell Divine. I don't think he's going to make it as a fully fledged Premier League football. I know how much Brian Daigle likes him, but yeah, I honestly think that he needs. I don't think he's ever going to be at that level. He hasn't really had any good loans and this kind of stuff. So I think he would be one that I'd look to get rid of. Do you know? I don't know. Did we ever get any official news from Spurs about the money that we're going to get from Højbjerg for selling Højbjerg?
Yeah, wasn't that clause triggered on the 1st of July? If I'm not wrong,
it was. Was it for 17 million pounds? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got a bit of money
sure
already
like
from him, right? So if you sold it, just say you sell, if Richie does go 15, 20 million, right? 15, 20 million for Solomon. And then you've got the money from Højbjerg, right? You've basically paid for Morgan Gibbs White nearly already, just by selling those 3 players. You've got rid of 3, brought in 1 who's homegrown, fields a homegrown quota as well, right? So they've got to try and do. It's true. You're right. It's always harder to sell players. I'm trying to think who else could we sell in the squad. I'm not. Apart from like Bassuma, Solomon, maybe Divine, a few loans, because we can only have 6 loans. I think, isn't it? 6 loans outside the club.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's something. So okay, for, other than Solomon, Bassuma. Who else would you sell in that squad that you think that we could get something for?
I think Ashley Phillips will go.
Sell,
yeah,
or loan. Really?
We've got 9 centre backs. You've got 9 centre backs, right? you've got 5 first-team centre-backs, if you will, in terms of Dragusin, Danso, Van der Ven, Romero, Davis. Then you've got Takai, who's come in. He's 20 and a Japan international.
Yeah,
then you've got Vuskovic. Then you've got Dorrington. Then you've got Phillips. Like, it's... Listen, again, 2 or 3 are going to have to go, or they're never, ever going to get football. Like, people like Dorrington are not going to get game time.
No.
Like, even if we say League Cup, FA Cup, the next players that will be in will be the Dansos and the Dragashins. It won't be the Dorrington. So for me, I think 2 of them will go. Possibly Vuskovic goes back out on loan for a year to
maybe,
I don't know, a top half championship club, maybe.
I
don't know, mate. We've got there's a lot of footballers at the club.
There is. I mean, the thing is, like, you could say Phillips, right? He had a very good loan. He was at Swansea, wasn't he? Was it Swansea? Was it? Or who was he playing at last season? I can't remember who he was playing at. Anyway, he had a good loan. So even he, you could probably get some money for, right, if we were to sell him. But I've just got a funny feeling they won't sell him. I think do you know what? It depends, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen with what Frank looks, how he looks at the players, what he feels. If he feels that there's something in those players that he thinks, okay, I don't want to sell him yet. Maybe he needs a loan. Maybe he needs to go out. Maybe this guy we can sell. And I think, look, they've only just started. They've only just started coming back to training, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. But it's like it's going to be interesting to see what happens. What we bring in, who he decides is surplus to requirements at the club, and it's quite exciting, to be honest. I don't think I've been this excited as a Spurs fan for a while, in terms of, apart from obviously winning the trophy. But
mate, I'm absolutely there with you. I haven't looked forward to Spurs for a long time. And I am very much looking forward to Spurs for the first time in a long time. But hey, that's just me. Listen, Danny, one more question, and then I will leave it there. I've been streaming all day. I'm absolutely.
Sure.
I was going to have a 3 or 4 hour break and go at 9, but then the news broke, so I did this show.
Well, Sava, what's going to happen is, as soon as you end the stream, we're going to get anher Here We Go with another player, and you'll be back on, mate.
I'll be live again. I'll be live again, mate. I'll be live again. Look, listen, it is exciting. It is good. There's a lot going on at the moment, but at the same time, got to keep our feet on the ground. There's still a lot of work for Thomas Frank to do. And I think even more than the signings, the first thing he's got to do, he's got to get us a formation. He's got to get us some tactics. He's got to get us looking like a team unit again. So I feel like we can't pile too much pressure on Frank, but everything's positive as of 7:30 p.m. tonight, right? Everything's positive.
Of course it is, right? Of course it is. Until it's not, Sam.
Yeah, of course.
Until it's not. No, I think there's a lot to be positive about, because we're doing things that are unexpected at the moment, and look, I'm excited to see what else is to come in the window, because I genuinely don't believe our business is done. Like, it won't stop. We've already got a centre back. I mean, take it from like face value for where we are right now. What else do we actually need right now? And then look at what do you think we realistically bring in to the club. Mm-hmm. That's where it's just like we need a number 6. We maybe need another striker, right? If we get rid of Richarlison, for sure we're going to need another striker, and maybe another winger, I'd say, or a left wing back. Depends. It depends on who you go for. Because
I think we definitely need a midfielder. I think we definitely need a midfielder. I know we went through loads, but Bentancur, Sarr, Gray, none of them.
No.
Bentancur, Sarr, Gray, Bassuma. For me, I'm not bothered if any of those were sold. Bergvall, I think's got the potential, but I do think everyone needs to calm down a little bit. I think everyone's talking as though he's the main man in a midfield, and I don't think he is yet.
Not yet.
I listen, there's talks that Udogie might leave and that Robinson from Fulham might come in, and I'd love that.
Really?
I think Robinson's superb. But listen,
to be fair, if Udogie leaves, as much as I think Frank can make him a very, very good left wing back, right? I would be happy if that was the replacement, because I love Robinson. I think he's a great left wing back.
Yeah, I think Robinson will be perfect for us. I think he's a top top left back.
Yeah.
Guys and girls, I've got a couple of notes. Big up to Darren. Everyone's got lovely pictures of their dog in their thumbnail. Big up to you, Darren. He's become a new YouTube member. As always, what I say to my members, please note that we do have a member-only show every week. So it's a chance for all the members to come on without it going live on the internet. Have your say. Then we had a little counselling session yesterday. It was great. It was all good fun. We all feel better at the end of it. So big up to you, Darren. Thank you for that. And Video Complete, Sofiane said, whoever drugged Levy, don't stop till the window shuts. Yeah, listen, Daniel Levy moving a little bit differently. If it is Charrington, if it is Vinay, if it is investment, I don't care. Just keep moving that way. So big up to you. Thank you very much, Video Complete. Listen, guys, I'm gonna send you all over to Sean. He is live right now. So please, when you get there, please say Sava Raid. Please, if you haven't liked the show, please do. We're only 20 short of 800 likes. And thank you to everyone that has subscribed as we make our way towards 20,000. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. Danny, you're not part of Tottenham on Tour anymore, are you? Or are you? Can't remember.
Not officially. Well, it's kind of, sort of. Like occasionally I might jump on, but not really like as a proper content creator for the channel. No.
Well, subscribe to Tottenham on Tour anyway. I'm going to leave it there. A great day for Spurs fans. Please go over to Sean, and this link will take you there. Go over to Sean, type in Sava Raid, show the love, and I'll see you back for the morning show where we're going to have we should get one deal confirmed in Kudus, and we should have a medical tomorrow for Gibbs White. So another good day tomorrow.
One other thing, smash the like, guys, before you go. Smash the like.
Smash the like. We've got 10 until we get to 800. We should be on 800.
Come on, guys. Come on. Let's get to 800.
Thank you very much. And if you haven't subscribed on your way out, please do. There is the link. I'm putting it in. It's the last thing. Here you go. Boom, boom, boom. I am going to go and have some moussaka for dinner. Take care, everyone. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.